And it's finally time to prove my mastery over a Wildcat. That sounded better in my head. Anyway, greetings everyone, it is me, Gigalem, and welcome back to the No Death Carol run on hard mode. In the last part, we finally took care of some of the worst levels for me to play as Carol. If you wonder why I have full HP upon the transition, well, you probably can already guess what happened. Anyways, time to finally reap our final reward. Ooh, 1-ups. Anyway, let's begin. Alright, it's time for Final Dreadnought round 3. Hey, I'm already having this many mistakes and not even at melee yet. Maybe it's because I'm trying to run, but I don't want to take too long on this because I only have so much time tonight. Anyway, anything that will kill you in the stage can and will kill you. They can and will kill it. Redundancy department, yeah. Anyway, it's just if it has any sort of way of killing you, it will try to do that. Any single possible way. It doesn't matter how or what, it will kill you. And Brevin is ready to basically use everything in his power that he can to try to finally stop you from stopping his ambitions. Because holy moly, this level is super exciting. It's probably one of the best levels in the game because of how frantic it can be. Though I can understand if you don't like it, if it's like a bit too quick for your liking. Carol, run. Anyway, now we're in this section, which is hard to keep a shield in, no joke. It's hard to keep your HP in. Ugh. Also, you're going to see a lot of enemies getting killed or bent or something like that, because there are many ways that they can get killed. A lot of infighting just to try to stop our heroes from achieving peace and Avalice once again. We're going to have to achieve Avalice once again in spring of 2022. I can't wait for that. This is why I kind of want to do this project, to try to alleviate the pain. What? Ooh. Wait. Now I can just jump off and then just begin the cutscene. Carol shuts down the thing. It's ready for picking unless they can't take it because it will cost Mila her life. Let's just say Brevin wasn't going to hand Mila over that easily. You twisted heathen. My friends aren't your science experiments. You wouldn't hurt a puppy. Really. Anyways, here is Mutant Mila. Basically, when she fires the one shield, you want to, you want to basically just try to use invincibility frames with Carol's wild kick to Oi, Carol, get off the bike. To basically try to basically get past her shields, her huge stage covering shields. And now that her brain is exposed, her mutant brain, that is. And that's done. I did a poor job of explaining that boss fight, but... Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, Brevin has crossed the line this time. My friends aren't your science experiments. But goodness gracious. Having to fight your own friend? Yeah, Cleo. Yeah. Anyways, back in a moment. Quickly as possible. Especially to run from stuff like that. Anyways, Brevin has now shot us with just a single blast. Well, goodbye, bike. Oh man, I'm not gonna have a good time with the boss. I'm already, like... never mind. Run's dead. But, basically I fought this boss so many times at this point that... fighting it with any other... Well, goodbye, bike, and goodbye... So, what is there to say about Final Dreadnought 3? It's my second favorite Dreadnought. Arguably, sometimes I flip between this one and the first one as my favorite. But, this is the shortest stage in the game. Shorter as Mila, too. Because as Mila, you just run straight past the core and such, where the Kingdom Stone would be. You only have one objective in this stage, unless you are bloodthirsty and can kill enemies without dying. All you have to do is just run. Run like heck. And eventually you'll make it to the boss. If you know your pathway, getting across this stage will feel like a blur. There's a good reason why the speedrunner achievement is so low. It takes the pacing of Final Dreadnought 1 and kicks it up a notch, as this, with the absurdly short length of the stage and the very dark boss at the end. This stage shouldn't take too long to get the speedrunner achievement, as long as you're good against the boss or if you're just playing as Mila. Then they have the boss itself. Brevin, my friends are not your science experiments. You will pay for hurting a puppy. Basically, I say the boss is ironically the easiest as Lilac and Torque. With Torque, if you have the right weapon set and know where to aim, this boss is done in a few seconds. I'm not kidding. But as Lilac, basically you have the ability to cyclone whenever she flies, and have the ability to just Dragon Boost past her giant shields. With Carol, just basically use the Wild Kick to get past her giant waving shields, and whenever she flies the cubes and such. Trying to hit her when it goes above, even on your bike, is a bit of a pain, because you're most likely going to lose your bike because of a lone block blast or projectile just hits it and bam, your bike is in pieces. But aside from that, well, not really easiest stage, no, far from that. It's a little bit harder than Final Dreadnought 1 because of what you have to go through and trying to get through it without dying. But, shortest stage in the game. It's not as short as the target test in Jinmu Academy, but pretty darn short. With that said, it is a level 8. It's harder than FD1, but it's a little bit easier depending on the character you're playing as. And I would have liked a what if boss like for Mila, but Click Team Fusion is not fun to use to get that to work, if memory serves. Anyways, with that said, final stage time. Welcome to the final stage in the game. And one that's basically decided to say, hey, recording curse activation time. Let's just say do not use your friends as science experiments. That is cruel, sick, and twisted. This stage is basically probably the best with Carol because of her ability to wall climb at any single moment. And her combat abilities will make sure that you can just take out these DNA cannons with relative ease. And just basically just pouncing, wall jumping, just everything. Just, there's a lot that Carol can do in this stage that basically makes it so it's faster to play as her over Lilac and Mila. And Torque if he ever got finished. Oop. Those particular enemies are wall turrets. They are enemies that were meant to appear in the scrapped DLC stage Horizon Starport, the first stage of Torque's story. Because that stage never got finished, well, they are now, this is their first appearance, and it will likely be that way until Torque finally has his Torque has his solo game along with Spade. Or Frame Plant 1 could just be remade with that DLC included. Goodness gracious, I can't believe Freedom Plant 1 is turning 8 next year. Time flies, like it seriously does. Anyways, this is a bad idea. Don't do what I did there! Ugh. Anyways, just keep wall climbing to your heart's content, so that way you can basically make short work of the climbing sections of this stage. Now, for this part, I do recommend you grab one of these, so that way, do I still have my flame shield? Don't tell me how you lost it. So I got my flame shield. I guess I'm gonna have to do this flame shield list then. I do not trust myself. I'm gonna wait for this thing to fire. You know, I gotta wonder what's the safety risk with this thing, because you gotta wonder, would this cause a lot of radiation here? Stop doing that! Stop freaking doing that! God! Yeah, I'm not gonna win this one. Ugh, 3 HP because I got freaking BS'd out of my HP. Ugh. Just keep pouncing, pounce as much as possible, and then just start the final boss. Second verse, same as first. You start by going all the way over here to make sure that you can dodge the Absolution, and then begin the Absolution Rematch. Now, start by going slow, but then running to make sure that you can dodge the new projectiles that Brennan has put on this Absolution. Just make sure you're still behind the Absolution whenever it attacks, because if you're not behind it, you are getting assaulted by big green lasers that hurt. And there you go. Back to full HP, and beginning phase 2, which is the phase that causes me the most problems. The Brevin Power Suit. And let's just say, if you're good at keeping your flame shield that you got earlier, it will make this boss fight a little bit easier. But this laser attack. Okay, good. He's doing the screw attack. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Yes. When he does the screw attack. What is it, phone? Whenever he goes, yeah, he's going to do the screw attack. 2 hits left. Okay, good. He's doing the screw attack. Oh. Yes! Now, before doing anything, make sure your charge bar goes to full. And for this last phase, well, you're going to want to make sure that that your audio is turned up a bit, because you're going to need you're going to need to prepare for Brevin. When he goes here, he's going to throw you. If he goes yeah, he's going to try to slash you. Anyways, whenever he does this particular attack, just make sure that you either parry him or dodge him whenever he goes yeah. Just wait for him to go by. Prepare to Oi. Yes! 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 It's over! No death, Carol, is over! I have officially proven myself. Yeah, order the hell out of him! Yes! Oh, it's done! It's finally done! Oh, I will see you with analysis and outtakes, and of course the ending of this game. And it took me until, like, I don't know, like, last year before...
Laser!
Hey! That was just me on my hubris. Now we just have to... Oi. Well, I'm not gonna have full health. Nope, I am not going to have full health, period, because I just died. Well, I'm not gonna have full health for the next boss fight. Oh, please keep doing that. Please keep doing that. Never mind. Ugh. Ugh. I hate that attack. It's harder to dodge than it looks. Ugh. Oh no! I just got touched by my very own tail. Now he's doing the the screw attack again. No, two hits left. Oh. And that's why I hate this attack. It's harder to dodge than it looks. Right, because those freaking lasers hurt. And that fire is... I jumped over that fire! I jumped over that fire! Come on! I've been at this boss for for longer than necessary. It's also hard to... I just want to beat this phase! What the hell? Yeah, I'm not winning this fight because of what I just did there. Well, I guess I'm gonna start taking my L now. Apologize if you hear the... Never mind. Like, I don't know how to hook that up with my Elgato, and I got freaking cheap shot. Like... I was trying to get on the thing. I wasn't freaking pouncing. 2 hits left. I just want to get this done before 10. Ugh. Jeez. Yeah, he's not fooling around. Yeah, that knife. Yeah. He's comboing you. He basically comboed you. Just want to get to this phase again. The finale is here, and ironically, it's Carol's easiest stage in terms of progression, given how vertical it is. The boss, however, is not. I'd say you're gonna have the hardest time with Carol for the second phase, as you saw with my outtakes. The reason I had the echo go on through the final part of the final boss is for one reason. I need to listen to Brevin's sound cues, because trying to play without Brevin's sound cues is going to be a bit of a nightmare, and you probably would have seen more outtakes, and it probably would have taken longer to get done. So the biggest obstacle in the first chap are the enemies. Like the DNA cannons throughout the stage. I do not recommend dealing with the Terions in the stage itself, just run to the next part of the stage. And then there's the second chap, one of the reasons why you remember this stage, the giant laser. Galeem would approve of Brevin's methods. Don't get caught in that laser because it's practically an instant kill. Even if it leaves you with no HP left or something like that, why bother just giving us HP left or the ability to live after a laser like that? No one's going to survive that. Ugh. It's all about when to enter and when to get out, and on top of that, the many enemies throughout the points of safety, like, are pretty troublesome to deal with, especially the wall turrets and the DNA cannons, especially the DNA cannons. Ugh, trying to keep your shield through the last part if you want to carry a fire shield to the final boss, it's a pain. You have to make sure that you don't get your fire shield just like snapped off by a wall turret at the end. And you have to make sure that DNA cannon doesn't decide to ruin your day. There were so many points where I basically just didn't die, but decided to just restart the run because I know it wasn't going to be the run. Then there is Brevin himself. The first phase is a much faster version of the Absolution, given that sometimes it will jump much faster and shoot the lasers much faster. It also has a new attack where the assaulting barrage of weapons basically is something you just want to wait before going straight to the ceiling with, because trying to go straight to the ceiling means he'll aim at the ceiling, and oh boy, you are not going to survive that onslaught. However, the second phase, I've only gotten to the third phase 3 times, or rather 2 times on failed takes, or failed runs, because of the second phase. The biggest problem I have with the second phase, aside from having a very hard to hit hitbox, is basically the point where he jumps, floats around in the air, and shoots a bunch of lasers. I hate that attack so much. Those lasers are hard to dodge, and it got to the point where I had to figure out just to dodge and then just jump back and use my Wild Claw to get past it. It's hard to hit him with it, too. Carol doesn't exactly have a means of getting much higher heights without her bike. She doesn't get her bike in this stage at all. Just trying to get to that single hitbox is just a pain if he keeps doing that. The screw attack part is basically the easiest thing to deal with, because he's going to jump around the entire field and you can just stand on one side of the field and ignore all that danger. Ooh. And then lastly, there's Brevin himself. The third phase. It's all about audio cues. Parry with wild kicks when he unsheaths his knife, and don't stop moving. The Brevin boost is something you have to move as much as possible until the end of the attack. Get ready to attack when he jumps, because it's really easy to let your guard down when you're in the midst of battle. But with the only set of bosses that actually have health bars, it's all about that push to victory. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Those audio cues, you always want to watch out for, especially when he goes, yeah! Because that, yeah, is all it takes to give you a warning that if he hits you with that knife, your HP is freaking cleaved. Just all that HP destroyed. That knife tears through universes. However, with all that said, I think it's justified to give it this rating. A level 9. The game ends on a high note, and one note it is. It's exciting, nerve-wracking, but it's approachable. more approachable than Mutant Serpentine and Spade and his 99 Ninjas. But that's another chapter finished for my channel. I've already spent all night editing this, trying to get it ready before New Year's. So yeah, enjoy the credits, and next time in the Freedom Planet universe, Freedom Planet 2. Now, the classic mode ending just feels a bit empty in my opinion. Whenever you get the classic mode ending, it plays out the same events as the game, only without the dialogue because of the game having little to no cutscenes for classic mode and such. And as such, well, it just feels like it's missing a few things. You're playing this on classic mode. Like, it feels a bit awkward there. But yeah, that is Carol No Death Run. A little thing that I promised to do myself for a while, and now that I finally have done it, well, let's just say I marked off one more thing for me to do before Freedom Planet 2 releases. So yeah. Anyways, this was a nice little project to do before the year's end. I'm going to try to get this ready in December. And at this point, I know, past this point, I know it'll probably be a couple of years since Crash Bandicoot 1's Let's Play has finished. But yeah. That's about it. This took me a few weeks to do. This was due to timing of when I could record and such. But with that said, it's a good thing I have the bit rate increased for the Elgato. Otherwise, I would run into some capture problems, for sure. I'm just glad to finally have this challenge run done. Of course I'm the coolest. I finally beat you on... I finally beat your story... I mean, it's finally did a no-death run with you on hard. It's a lot harder than it looks. And believe me, I'm going to be giving a few bits of analysis as I go on. I am not done with this project yet. I still have to edit it in post. And then just give all my analysis as well as make the graphics for it. But, goodness gracious, this was one heck of a... But yeah. So, it's been, I've been playing this game for almost, 8 years. 8. I know this game front to back. It's kinda like how I feel towards Crash Team Racing. And the fact that I finally did did this on official hardware, making this my first proper Let's Play on official hardware. Well, yeah. The one thing I do like about the indie run, limited run release is that it came with a manual, stuff that I missed from older games, and it does give you lots of cool stuff, like being able to know what enemies is what. I'm pretty sure I passed by a couple of friends that are in the credits. They funded this. I didn't even know there was a Kickstarter back in 2013. I was still in high school by then. But yeah. Just... it's incredible how this game was made possible. And it's incredible that we're finally going to play its sequel in 2022. I hope. But yeah. No deaths throughout all of that. That was just... really... I struggled a bit with this. I know I struggled with stages like Jade Creek, Thermal Base. I struggled a bit with. I definitely struggled with Trap Hideout. The fact that I got it with no deaths. Battle Glacier took me like a couple of weeks. That's because of recording timing. Please don't do this, Nintendo Switch. Final Dreadnought 2. It's a good thing I practiced it before I started. But goodness gracious. No deaths. It's been done. Finally been done. So yeah. I've been Galen. If you want to donate, there's a couple links in the description below. Any amount helps, please. For my sanity. And if you want to keep up with whatever projects I'm working on next, there's a... you can just click subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll be on your way. But you don't have to, you don't want to. Anyways, I shall see you with whatever comes next. I don't know what's going to be next, but... actually, wait, I know. I know what's going to be next. It's the 200 subscriber special. I'll get to work on that, whatever's been picked. And you just get back to enjoying yourselves. Till then, I shall bid you adieu.